Welcome to another edition of Everything Football 62. I'm your host, Jonathan Big Tex Johnson, a.k.a. Uncle Tex, a.k.a. Professor Tex. Back at you again here. Before we get started, smash that like button, subscribe to the page. Got any questions, concerns, little friendly debate and whatnot and all that good stuff, go ahead and let it be known and whatnot. We can go ahead and we can razzle dazzle down there in the in the comment section or back and forth or whatever. It's all good, man. Just keep it tasteful. Let me go ahead and start with the finals of week 8 and my picks. Your boy went 12-4. After going 12-5. After going 9-5 the week before and whatnot. Your boy went 12-4. Like I said, a couple of wild cards. I probably could have did better than that. But 12-4. But here goes like a little review of what happened this past Sunday. Starting with Tampa Bay and Buffalo. Of course, I picked that one and whatnot. Tampa Bay still hung around, had a chance. That was a pass interference. They could have put him a little closer. They possibly could have got him. That's what I say. Buffalo is like this, man. Josh Allen balled out and stuff like that. He gives that to you. But sometimes he'll give that to you for a course of 3 or 4, and he'll be playing good in the game, and then he'll make vital mistakes in that game. That's just a part of what his game is and whatnot. But they're up there and whatnot. So they got the W. LA and Dallas, I already picked that. Dak Ceedee Lamb showed out. All that talk, y'all go back and talk about when I talk about them receivers and all them other type of jokers sitting up there with Richard Sherman, them talking about he ain't no number one and stuff like that or whatever and all that. Look at his stats. Look at what he's done. I've already showed y'all that. That's just because he's not built like a running back. He's built more like a traditional wide receiver used to be built like. Instead of now you getting these guys who hybrids like the kind of, to me, semi-started with guys like almost like that of a Shannon Sharp, but later on T.O. and whatnot. I got 6'3", 220, 225 and whatnot. And you can go back and look that stuff up and whatnot. And you can see that and whatnot, which is nothing wrong with that. But Ceedee Lamb, he can do it all. What can he do? I don't care what anybody says. He's one of the top receivers in the game and whatnot. And he's going to have to end up paying the man. Dallas looked good. Dallas looked really good. Surprised me. I thought it was going to be a lot closer than what it was. Minnesota, Green Bay. Another one I picked, Green Bay, Minnesota. They lost Kirk Cousins. I hate to be jinxed the Joker, but I sit up there and say I didn't think he was going to have that good of a game or anything like that. I think he was having a pretty decent game, and all of a sudden, Achilles heel, gone. He's gone for the season and stuff. I just figured something was going to happen with him. Didn't think that. I just thought it was going to be a bad game. And, that happened and whatnot, but Minnesota won. But it's like it's going to be tough sledding from here out. You got Atlanta and Tennessee. Pick Tennessee up on that one. Oh, boy, the kid that was supposed to do all these different things and whatnot. What's my man's name? They waited, Will Levis, so how do you say his name? 19 for 29, 238, 4 touchdowns. D-Hop goes off. First time he's really been off in a couple of years, or you could actually say that, and shocked me. But the kid looked good. I think I went back and checked some things out on him, even back doing the whole thing with the draft and stuff like that. And one of the things, his arm strength, he has nice arm, I think, but he fell because of it was some cockiness that went along with that. So I think that was one of them humble pie things. But we'll see what happens. That was just one game, but even if he never does another one, he'll always have that one and whatnot for sure. But Tennessee did what Tennessee basically was supposed to do against Atlanta, even though Atlanta still hung around there. Poor quarterback play from their rookie again. I think he's actually getting ready to get benched, and they're gonna bring on Heineken up in there. That might snaz them up a little bit. Might be a little shocker with them. New Orleans and Indianapolis picked that one. New Orleans and whatnot. Carr came alive. They put up some points and whatnot against the Indianapolis team and whatnot. So we'll see what happens with New Orleans and whatnot. That South is going to be kind of a little tight and whatnot. It ain't no clear leaders right now, so the South can definitely. The South. Let's look over to the South real quick. Yeah, Atlanta's 4-4, 4-4. New Orleans is 4-4. Tampa 3-4, and Carolina's 1-6. So that's a toss-up. Any between those first 3 teams I named, that's a toss-up. So you just never know. So Atlanta actually does have a chance, and they have been in a couple of games that they could have easily been possibly 6-2. What I have, New England and Miami. I already knew that was going to happen. Tyree Hill was playing lights out. Tuca Valoa playing good. New England, yeah, I'm honestly thinking that they ran this course and whatnot. Mac Jones is not playing very good at all. They're not playing very good football over there anyway. So that was no surprise with Miami. New York Jets and the Giants and whatnot. Don't know. That was an ugly game. Some defense, but it was kind of an all-in-all ugly game offensively. Yeah, man. New York still had a chance to actually get that game and won, but it couldn't bring the ball in on that last call and whatnot. So it was what it was, man. New York actually missed the field goal. We actually missed the field goal and everything. So, dude, what are you going to do? it just ain't happening for New York, right? It just ain't happening for them. Jacksonville and Pittsburgh, I actually Jacksonville, I might pick Pittsburgh or whatever. I think maybe. I can't even remember now. But I think I picked them. Not sure. I have to go back and take a look at it. But Jacksonville, hey man, doing what they did, what they call themselves doing. Pittsburgh, the old boys might supposed to be. I don't know, and whatnot. But like I said, you got Spinner. Didn't play. I don't think they didn't play that great, but played good enough to beat Pitt. Launched 24-32 for 292. Trubisky, like I said, Pickett. Pickett was doing fairly well. Not a lot of yards and whatnot, but Trubisky ended up doing well, what Trubisky always does. Travis Etienne, he's doing, kind of doing it all over. A little bit of rushing here, some receiving here and there, and stuff like that. So hey, man, they did what they had to do in Jacksonville. If Jacksonville could be consistent, Jacksonville could be something that you have to contend with for sure. Coached by Doug Marrone team. Philadelphia and Washington, that game was a pretty good game. Watch that game. Yeah, man, back and forth, but that's what those divisional games are like anyway. That's what they're like. A.J. Brown, hell of a game and whatnot and stuff like that, showing where he's one of the top receivers in the game as well and stuff. So, can't take anything from him when it comes to that. Balling out and everything like that, and keep balling out. He probably end up getting one of his first team, getting a first team All-Pro. Now he keep balling out the way he's balling out. Carolina and Houston, I actually picked Houston. I thought Houston was going to probably do a little something to him, but hey, man, it was the first. I think they said it was the first time you had the first 3 picks all playing at the same time. You had Stroud, you had Young, and you had Will Anderson, all of them playing at the same time, all 3 of them starters and whatnot. Carolina and Bryce Young them got their first win, so that's good for the young man. They needed that, but it's going to still be some growing pains. Still got a long way. Still got another 9-10 weeks left, just about anyway. About another 9 weeks left. Cleveland and Seattle. Pick Seattle for this. Like I said, the difference is going to be, and I honestly feel this: if Deshaun Watson can come back right in the thick of things, he can completely turn everything around because they're right there in some games that they should have won. And if he had his skill set there, they're winning. It's just this stuff going on with the man's shoulder. They get rotator cuff, if I'm not mistaken. But Seattle did what they did. Geno Smith did what they had to do and stuff like that, and they they beat 24-20. This was the shocker here: Denver and Kansas City. Oh yeah, Denver. I just didn't see that coming, but I told my partner, I said, I wouldn't mind sitting up there seeing Russell go ahead and get one and whatnot. Come out, Mahomes was sick, wasn't feeling well and stuff like that. A lot of drop balls. Didn't know Kansas City actually leads the league in drop balls. That's pretty crazy when you think about it and whatnot. Still a 6-2. They're playing Miami. That's a big game. They're going to be playing over across the pond and whatnot. So I got to remember to set my alarm clock for around 9 o'clock so I can get myself together so I can go ahead and watch that, get to start watching that game there at that time and whatnot. That should be a Jim Dandy. Baltimore and Arizona, 31-24. Baltimore could have did some things better, but they still put up 31 points. Arizona has a few things here and there and whatnot, but it wasn't going to be able to overcome that. Like I said, that I figured Baltimore could have probably put up 40-some points on them and probably could have had to been sitting on the sidelines, the starters sitting on the sidelines, chilling and whatnot. Play them close. It's a professional game. Those things like that can happen. Cincinnati and San Francisco, hey, like I said, Joe Burrow showed up. He's doing what he's doing, what Joe Burrow can do if he's healthy, or if his line go ahead and give him some time. Saw a couple of missed sacks by San Francisco and whatnot. Purdy threw for a rack of yards, but he also threw for 2 touchdowns. In the last 3 games, he's thrown 5 touchdowns. Excuse me, 5 touchdowns. He's thrown 5 picks. So for him to lead, and then again, we talked all this stuff. Where's Debo Samuels that hurt again? So, come on, man. Partial part of becoming something great, or becoming known in that league and whatnot, man. You got to stay out of the you got to stay out of the whirlpool, man. Got to stay out of the whirlpool. Respect him as a player. I think he's a hell of a player when he's out there. He's a starter, stirs the drink on that offense. But I tell you, man, all these he's been dealing with injuries. As I went and did my homework, even when he was in college, coming in and whatnot. And like I said, take away that 21 season, 1,600. What do you have? He hasn't done that. He's been hurt. So, we'll see what happens though. Chicago, we got Chicago Chargers. Already knew that. Chargers Bears didn't even stand a chance. So they did what they were supposed to do. The Chargers did what they were supposed to do. Then you got Detroit and Vegas. Called it on Detroit. Detroit did what they did. Garoppolo overthrew Devontae Adams twice. One probably could have been probably like a 98-yard touchdown pass. The other one probably could have been a 60-some-yard touchdown pass. That's the same thing that he did in the Super Bowl against Kansas City. You can't overthrow wide open receivers, and you're a quarterback in this league. It can happen every now and then, but you can't have it like that. How many times you going to have a mess up like that? That changed the whole time of the game. They were still into the game going into the fourth quarter. Hey, man, like I said, and got rid of Josh McDaniels, which was good. I don't even say I don't see why. Who picks up Josh McDaniels to be a head coach? We saw the debacle over in Denver about a decade ago. Come on, man. That dude's a play caller up under Belichick, and that's all he has, and that's all he is, and that's all he ever will be. You heard it here first. And whatnot. Let me go and move on to this to week 9 picks. We're going to get them so you can shock the world again and whatnot. So we got Tennessee and Pitt. Yeah, I'm going to take Pitt. I see Watt giving old boys some fits. I'm going to take Pitt on that one and whatnot. Miami, Kansas City, I'm taking Kansas City. Minnesota, Atlanta, I'm taking Atlanta. I'm going to go ahead and take Atlanta. I don't know what Minnesota's going to be doing at quarterback. I don't know if it got Josh Dobson. I think that's the man's name, the one that was playing for Arizona. He ain't going to. They're going to have some rookie up in there. So, hey, I don't see that happening with them. Sale in Baltimore. I got Baltimore. I'm taking Baltimore. I'm looking for Odell Beckham to have a big game. Arizona and Cleveland. I'm taking Cleveland. LA and Green Bay. I don't know what's going on with the quarterback situation. For the last week, I'm going to pick Green Bay. For the last week, I want to see with Georgia, because I don't know if Matthew Stafford, I think his thumb is jacked up, so I don't know what's going on with him. But I'm gonna take Green Bay. Wild card pick. Tampa Bay and Houston, I'm gonna take Tampa Bay on this one. Washington, New England, I'm gonna take. As much as I can't stand them, I'm going to take Washington on this one. Chicago, New Orleans, that's New Orleans. New Orleans should just walk all over these guys. Indianapolis, Carolina. I'm going to go ahead and take Indianapolis. New York and Las Vegas, I'm going to take New York. I'm going to take New York. They got to get off the snot. They got to do something. They got to try to salvage what's left of their season. Dallas and Philly, of course, I'm taking Dallas. Buffalo and Cincinnati. I'm taking Cincinnati. No, I'm not taking Cincinnati. I'm taking Buffalo. And I'm taking Buffalo for the simple fact I think Josh Allen may have heard it all. It should be a duel. But we'll see. We'll see. With these teams, a lot, even with Cincinnati, who's going to show up? Who's going to show up and whatnot? So we'll see what defense is going to show up on these prolific type offenses. But I want Buffalo. I think Buffalo should be able to take this game and whatnot. I think they're a little bit more talented all across the board than with Cincinnati. Cincinnati will play hard. I give them that. They coached up real good and whatnot. But I think Buffalo should already get this one and whatnot. So those are my picks. And real quick, man, the trade deadline and all that stuff came in yesterday and all that stuff and whatnot. And hey, man, I am completely shocked being over here in Northern Virginia. Shocked that they got, even though they've been talking about it for the last couple of weeks, Chase Young and Montez Sweat, their best edge rushers are defensive ends, whatever they guys call them nowadays. When Chase Young goes to the 49ers, which sounds good, he teams up with Bosa and whatnot. On the other side, who got a lot of money, who ain't done much this year thus far. Young is trying to get back to a form of that he had as a rookie, but then was basically hurt the last 2 years, and then finally playing this year here. The knock on him was just playing undisciplined football and doing what he wanted to do. That was one of the knocks on him, where it was easy to get rid of him. Montez Sweat, and plus they wasn't going. That's the knock they're gonna have on him. They just like, we're not gonna play because he's injury prone. Montez Sweat, him and his brother both play very good. He's going to Chicago, so who knows what's gonna happen over there. It's crazy how that business goes, man. It's like you there 1 minute, now you got to uproot your family, and it's crazy. It's crazy. See why them guys make the money that they make, and I see why they got to do what they got to do. But it's like that defensive front should be definitely an upgrade when Sweat go over there. And Young, if stayed healthy with him and Bosa on the end, they might start getting some stops and start looking like the defense it was 4 weeks ago. 4, 5, 6, 7 weeks ago and whatnot. So we'll see what happens and whatnot. I had a couple other things going on, but that was the big one right there. That was the real big one right there. I didn't see that happening and whatnot. So who knows what's going to go on with with Washington and whatnot and stuff. So yeah, man. So that's pretty much it, man. And again, like I said, man, those are my picks. I'm sticking with them and whatnot, and be ready to watch the games and stuff like that. Probably come back with a little bit more historic stuff on the game and some of the great players and whatnot that's played this game and whatnot. I might be doing a feature on Ted Hendricks, the Mad Stork, I think his birthday was today. But I don't think, just to parlay, just to go on that a little bit, probably one of the greatest in the 4-3 defense, probably one of the top. And I forgot to mention him as well, because there's so many, but he's mentioned, but other guys are mentioned a little bit more. And I think because he bounced around on about 4 teams or so, everybody else pretty much stayed stationary. But he bounced around and whatnot. And then he had a late stint. He did very good young, dipped a little bit, and then the latter part of his career, he started doing things that he was doing when he was a younger man and whatnot. So yeah, a little something on him. And he was 6'7", 225. So yeah, he was a specimen to see back then, and check out some of them highlights and whatnot. But like I tell you guys all the time, I'm going to let y'all go. Tell you guys all the time, there is no GOAT, there's no greatest of all time, as long as time's still going on. And like I tell you guys all the time, numbers don't lie and get emotional. People do. You guys have a great one.